Hey guys, this is James here from jameseager.com and of course eBassGuitar. How you doing? Now, I've had a message from one of my students, one of my Skype students in fact, a guy called Denny who I teach in Ohio, and he sent me this message today. I'm just going to read it to you because it's easier than me sort of paraphrasing it, but it goes like this. Hey James, this might be a little bit late, ... but the walking bass line on SRV's song Pride and Joy, could you give me a little bit of help with this? Again, it might be too late. We're playing this song Saturday at the wedding. So today is Friday when I'm recording this, that's tomorrow. If you could give me a video of what I have to do with this or a simplified version, this would be great. If you can't in time, I understand. Thanks for everything you were teaching me. Yes, of course, Denny. So I thought this would be a really cool video just to share with everybody, basically. So Denny's in this situation. He's got to play at a wedding tomorrow. He's being presented with his song Pride and Joy by Stevie Vaughan, and he's wondering what on earth to do with it. And I've just sort of checked it out, had a listen to it, and I've got some ideas that I want to share with you that Denny could use to get through this song very, very quickly. Because one of the things that happens to us all when we get presented with a song that we don't know with a very short time frame is that we can get a little bit overwhelmed, particularly if you listen to the bass player on that. It's the backing band was some guys called Double Trouble, Stevie Vaughan's backing band that is, and the bass player is Tommy Shannon on it, and he's like a monster blues player and he's walking all over the place, and that can be a little bit overwhelming because there's so many ideas in there. And what we need to do as bass players is just pull back into a few very simple ideas and then expanding out from there. So let's get straight down to it. There are a couple of things that I'm going to kind of take as read. The first of all, I'm going to assume that you know this is a 12-bar blues. If you're not, please comment below and ask me to do a lesson on this. I will be doing this in due course. So the format is a 12-bar blues, and we're in the key of E flat too. So I know in this situation that Denny's playing with some pretty good guys who are going to tell him, okay, this is a blues and we're in the key of E flat. Okay. It's also just worth one tiny other thing is Stevie Ray Vaughan actually tunes down a semitone, so he slackens his strings off by half a step. This gets a fatter sound, and so actually he's playing in the key of E on his guitar, but it sounds like E flat. Okay, us bass players by and large don't bother with that kind of thing so much, or actually, if the whole band's playing like that for the whole gig, we might all come down. But if it was just one song like this, I would play an E flat and the rest of the guys would play an E. So I'm going to assume that we're playing in the key of E flat. That's the record key. So if you want to jump on Spotify, Pride and Joy, Stevie Ray Vaughan, check that out, please do. So a couple of things struck me straight away about listening to this. Is that what you've got to listen to are core ideas and then build an overview. So we know this is a blues and we're looking for one simple idea that we can put over the top of it. So there are essentially two pieces of information that we need to play this song rather than the, I guess, hundreds of options that Stevie or Tommy Shannon's coming out with here. So the first thing to do is listen to the first few bars of the bass line, because this is where the core idea normally comes out, and there's a very strong core idea in this. So we are in the key of E flat here, like that. So that's E flat at fret 6 on the A string, and it has this descending idea where it's going down the scale, but it's flattening the 7th. So if we went down the scale normally, the major scale, but we're going to flatten the 7th, and that's what gives it that really nice bluesy sound. And if you listen to that first bar, you can hear him repeating it 3 or 4 times right at the beginning before he starts sort of going off more into bass improvisation. So what we could do is work out this first bar. That's what I tell you to do. Go and work out the first bar. Okay, and that can be your basis for the whole 12 bars that we're working on here. So let me demonstrate how this would work. So we're on chord 1 and we're going to play this for 4 bars. And then we're going to go up to chord 4, then back to chord 1, and then up to chord 5, chord 4, chord 1. And that is literally all you need to play to kind of get the feel and the vibe of this song. It's that kind of that straightforward, one idea that you can shift around, okay? Tommy Shannon is getting a touch more involved, but that's the first kind of I guess, thing I would do to get comfortable with this song. Okay, once you're there, you might want to start breaking out a little bit. Okay, and there's actually, once they get into the first chorus, so where Stevie Ray Vaughan starts singing the tune, there's actually another really strong idea that I'm going to pull out, where they turn the riff from 1 bar into 2 bars, and I'll show that to you. So we go down the scale, so E flat, D flat, C, B flat, okay? Okay, then it drops down to E flat, G, B flat, C. So we're going to go root, and then we're going to drop down to the 3rd, okay, to the 5th, to the 6th, okay. Now this is just the same idea that I'm sure you may have seen before. Go, okay, but we are dropping the 3 notes after the root down the octave, which again gives a really good sort of different sound, chunky flavour. It's really, really effective sound when you go like that, rather than, yet kind of harmonically from a chord perspective it's the same thing, but it's just a different sound. Okay, so if I put these 2 bars together, I'll show you how it works. So, and then drop down here. Okay, so I'm going to play that a few times over so you can hear how that riff sounds when we kind of put it together. Okay, now to take that idea and put it over the 12-bar blues, that's what I'm going to do now. Okay, when we get to that chord 5, chord 4, chord 1, chord 5 at the end, we've only got a bar each, so I'm going to have to modify the riff slightly. Okay, but it works for the first 2/3 of the blues sequence, as I'm going to show you now. Okay, and then up to the chord 4, back to chord 1, okay. Now, just to demonstrate how we can take this kind of one step further, we've got 2 distinct ideas in here. The first bar, that one, okay, and then the second bar, like that. Okay, so when we have the single bar changes, chord 5, chord 4, chord 1, chord 5 at the end, I'm going to use that second idea there now. So let me demonstrate how this works. So 2-bar riff to start with, and then the second idea on the last third of the blues sequence. Okay, so and then up to chord 4. Okay, and then second idea. And then back to the initial idea. Okay, and once you kind of get comfortable with those 2 ideas, you can then start breaking off and doing little fills. So the next sort of place to take it after this is, and then do a walking line up to get to the 4. Okay, so that's a chromatic walking line. But in the situation that Denny's in, where he's literally got to gig this tune tomorrow, I wouldn't even get involved in adding those little walking lines in there until you're really comfortable with that. But that is quickly how to start putting bass lines over the blues. So to sum up what we've talked about the blues sequence, and we've talked about looking at it from an overview perspective. So we're literally just dealing with a couple of core ideas. So that's the blues sequence, and then this one riff. And that's literally the 2 pieces we could take of information we could take in there to play this song, or Denny could take in there to play this song convincingly on a gig tomorrow. Obviously, as you become a more experienced blues player, you'll get all those little fills, all those little tricks in there, which will start to make your walking bass lines interesting. So all the run-ups from chords, that kind of thing. So anyway, I've been James from JamesEager.com and eBassGuitar. If you've liked this lesson, please do give it a like or share. There's some buttons below there. Please do leave me a comment. Please do ask me any questions you've got on it. So yeah, leave me a comment on social, and I'd love to see you next time. Cheers, James from JamesEager.com. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.